Hey guys, it's time for week 15, 16, and 17 bump date. This video probably came out a little later than the others, and I'm going to try to make this really fast. I didn't set up lights or anything. I'm just in my living room with natural light. It is my 10-year wedding anniversary, so I'm going to kind of speed through this, but I know I needed to get this out, and you might hear the dogs in the background chewing bones. It's the only way I can keep them quiet. So none of these that I can remember are in a specific order. I just wrote things down. Things have been so crazy with my friend losing her husband. There's been some other stuff that happened to another friend from my fertility group. Some things happened to her baby. I haven't talked about it yet, but I might today. I don't know. So it's just been, and then Christmas, and it's just been like a crazy month. So I cannot tell you the order these things happened in, but I just jotted some stuff down. The very first thing I wanted to tell you guys about is, y'all heard me talk about in my daily vlog how when I used to have a fat apron when I was bigger than I am now. And when I lost like 60 pounds, it turned into loose skin. And as soon as I got pregnant, it's almost like it filled in again, and it was making me really insecure and uncomfortable, because it's like I all of a sudden had a fupa again, for lack of better words, instead of just, the technical is like a fat apron, but like a lot of people call it a fupa. And I did have one of those when I was extremely heavy. I'm still overweight, of course, you know, but I had gone down to just this thin, loose skin, which I could deal with, you know, and it filled back out. And I did talk to my doctor about that. She says because you have so much blood going through your body and you swell in weird places, and there's a lot of blood vessels down there, that's the reason it puffed back out. She said as soon as I have the baby, it'll go back to just being loose skin. So, I mean, it makes me feel better, you know, especially because I was like, how am I not fitting in anything down there, because I haven't gained any weight still. So that made me feel a lot better. She kind of explained it to me, and it's just like, it's just the way it is. I have to deal with it. So after I have the baby, it will go back to just being loose skin. All the fluid and extra blood pumping through it and stuff will kind of deflate again. So any of you mamas that might have been overweight and lost some weight, and maybe if you experience that, that's why it happens. My doctor explained it to me. She said it's really common. So that was the first thing I wanted to address, and I'm trying to think. Okay, well, we'll just get into this right away. Obviously, I had my gender reveal, and we're having a boy, and his name is going to be Jackson Byron, spelled traditionally. Justin really cannot stand Jackson with an X. And I prefer traditional, but he is like, can't stand it. We have already told our friends and family Jackson, not Jack. That's been a big thing, that we've had that name picked out for like 8 years, but it's always been like, if, you know, we go with this name, if we have a boy, it's important for us to tell people we don't really like the name Jack. That's not his name. If his name was Jack, then we would have named him that. So it's like one thing about the name, that it's not that we don't like the name Jack, it's like that's not our son's name, it's Jackson. So we already told friends and family that, and yeah, that's that. So when I went to Vegas, I think I talked about this in my vlog, but this is the first, I think, bump date I've done since then. I didn't have any issues really traveling, besides I just felt genuinely uncomfortable, like more so than normal on the flight. And Jackson was freaking out at takeoff both times. So you know when the plane starts speeding up to like get up and catch air, you know, get in the air, and you kind of get, it's kind of like a roller coaster, you get pushed against your seat. I could feel him going crazy. Like he went crazy both times on the way there and back. And the first time he was going so crazy, I was just envisioning him like, ah! And like I started laughing, and like my sister's like, what are you doing? And I told her, and then like Melissa, her best friend that was with us, and we all started laughing like uncontrollably, because we were just picturing him like, ah! And it was just really funny because people were staring at us, but whatever. So that's something kind of funny that happened. Let's see, I have like a list of things to get through. I talked about poop in my last video. I talked about the skin thing in. Something people don't tell you, and I've talked, like, since this happened, I'm like, did this happen to you, or you just not tell me this? To some of my pregnant friends are like, no, I've had that issue. I've almost pooped myself like twice now, and it's not because it's like diarrhea or anything. This is totally TMI, but I feel like if I'm gonna give you guys this information, somebody should tell you guys, and a bump date seems the appropriate time. So it's not like I haven't had constipation with pregnancy because I'm pretty regular, you know, but I'm not as regular. But when I go, it's not constipated. This is disgusting. It's not constipation. But like what happens now is, like, usually I'm regular, same time every day. What happens now is, like, I go like every other day, and I never know when it's gonna hit. And when it hits, it's like, you need to go now. And there was a day in Target where I was like, I really wanted to check out with a maternity shirt because it was on sale and it was the last one in my size. So I was like, I'm gonna check out with this shirt, but I literally almost pooped myself coming home because of that. And it's not like it's just diarrhea or something awful. It's just like, all of a sudden you need to go right now. It's pretty gross. It is what it is. And I feel like somebody should tell you that, because nobody told me until I was like, is this a thing or am I crazy? Did this happen to you? And they're like, no, this happened to me. Thanks for telling me. So there's that. Another kind of gross thing is, I knew that sometimes you pee yourself when you're pregnant. I thought it came much later. It started for me around 16 weeks. It was probably my fault the first time. I had a full bladder and I had to pee so bad, but the dogs were going crazy. They get like really crazy when they want to eat. And they were just like whining. I was like, I'm just gonna do this. I don't know why. It would have took me like 30 seconds to pee, but I was like trying to dish their food out and stuff. And then I sneezed and I peed myself, not like a little pee-pee. Like, I had to go change my pants, wash them right away. I peed myself like a little kid. Since then, that has not happened again. What's happened is, like, sometimes, like, if I sneeze or cough really hard and I feel like my bladder is not totally empty, then I like pee a little, like just a few drops. So yeah, all my friends are like, yeah, it started for me around 16 weeks. I just didn't want to tell anyone. It's kind of embarrassing because I knew what happened, and I was just like, I've always been freaked out and done Kegels and stuff, you know? So like, I didn't understand when it happened. I was like, but I do Kegels. And they're like, you just can't really control it sometimes. So I've accepted that now. And, you know, I understand I need to carry extra underwear in my purse and some panty liners and stuff like that. So that happens. And it started at 16 weeks. And I know it gets a lot worse, like a lot worse when you're farther along. Like my friends that are like almost due have been like, I peed myself and didn't even know I peed. And I kind of know what they're talking about, because when I sneezed, it wasn't like when you go to the bathroom and you feel yourself pee. It was like, what the hell, I'm wet all of a sudden. So I know that's coming, but I just thought I would share that start this week, because I feel like people do their bump dates and they're like, la-di-da, everything's great. But I feel like some people should just be honest. You're gonna pee and poop's gonna be weird. I mean, that's a thing. So went over the gender, and I also forgot to tell you guys, at the concert, I was really hoping the baby would totally be into Brooks and Dunn and move a lot. When my mom was more pregnant with me, she went like closer to her due date. They went to see Diana Ross, and my mom had to leave because she said I was just going crazy in her stomach and it was painful. They had to leave, like they stayed a long while, but they had to leave before it was over because I was just like, she said, dancing up a storm. So I was kind of excited for that. And we went and saw Brooks and Dunn with Reba McEntire in Vegas. And I love Reba, don't get me wrong. She's a queen. But Brooks and Dunn is my ultimate favorite. Like, so I was kind of disappointed in the baby when it was getting down to like all the Reba songs. There's like one or two Brooks and Dunn songs, but the baby really, and I keep calling it the baby, I keep forgetting. It's so weird that he has like an identity now, he's Jackson, but he was going crazy. So I think he liked Reba better. Either that or my friend Lewis joked like maybe he just couldn't stand Reba and he was like, no. I was like, maybe, I don't know. But I was just like, traitor. Not really though, because I love Reba. So I think that's pretty much it. You guys might have noticed in our gender reveal video. We were, I don't know, like I just feel like when I rewatched it, I always thought we'd react like really big and differently. But I think it really caught us off guard that they put the wrong balloon inside the box. Like it was the right balloon gender-wise, but the two balloons that we picked at Party City were onesies, like the one that came out. But one was all pink and one was all blue, and all it said on it was, "It's a girl, it's a boy." And what came out when we first opened it, all we saw was white and polka dots, and we were like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? We were like, after the thing happened, we tried to do the blood test, and they said it was what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Thank you. We tried to do the blood test, and they said it was unidentifiable, like what the baby was. So we were just like, what, are we having an alien? So when we like opened the box and we saw white and polka dots, we were just kind of like, and the balloon that came out, like finally as it came out more, I swear my dad saw it before us, like, you know what I mean? Like, as it started coming out, it just said baby boy, and that was fine. We were like not upset about that, but like we were really confused, and I think that took away from our like, you know, I mean, we're still really excited and we laughed about it because we all thought it was a girl, but Justin and I started having our doubts like a few days before that we started thinking maybe it is a boy. But we didn't like tell our family. We just like, you know, be fun. But like the whole thing at 13 weeks where I thought I saw a little penis, and the way that the ultrasound tech reacted, because she told me that, because I told her I didn't want to look at the screen when she went down there, and she was like, no, you can't see anything, it's okay. So at some point when she was down there, I was like thinking, is that what I think it is? And she was like, she looked at the screen, but then she turned and looked at me really fast. And I think she saw my face, and she goes, it's the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord's going through its legs. It's the umbilical cord. And I remember thinking like, but wouldn't it be super long? But I was like, okay, well, she knows what she's looking at. I don't. But that kind of stayed with me in my mind. And then when we went and got the gender one, Justin, you know, works in computers and technology and stuff. And he said he couldn't help it, but like, because there was nothing else to listen to. But when she typed, he swore he only heard 3 letters, and I tried to tell him, well, they typed leg and arm, you know, and like, you know what I mean? But like, I think that both made us like the combination of that, because I didn't really tell him much about the 13-week ultrasound because I didn't want to sway him any other way. Just, you know, I just wanted to be a surprise. But when he told me that, he was like, well, now I'm thinking I already know what it is because of the typing. I was like, well, you know, that happened to me, and we can't really know. So, but I think like the day before we were like, okay, this might actually be a boy. And either way, we're totally happy. We didn't really have a preference. Justin really eventually wants a girl, but we didn't have a preference. We were just happy to have a healthy baby, and we feel really lucky to be able to even have one. So that is that about the gender reveal. And I just feel like I need to explain, because I feel like I just always thought it would be more grand the way we reacted, and I realized looking back, like you could totally see, especially on my face, the what the fuck when I saw the white and polka dot balloons, because I was like, is this a joke? Like, because my dad had made a joke about wanting to call the Party City, figure out which one we were going to, and have them put like purple balloons in just to confuse us. And for a moment, I thought he actually did that. So that kind of explains that. The last 2 things are kind of weird things, and I'll insert a picture of one of them. My belly button is ripping, and I really, like, it comes and goes with how bad it is, and it's like on the side of my belly button, and I meant to call my doctor, but we just got back in town, so I'm gonna call her this week because I don't see her again until January 14th. It started to heal a little bit, and this is what happens. Like, it's been going on for a couple weeks, but it was like the worst a few days ago. But then I get it to start healing again, and I'm like, okay, I'll just wait till my next appointment. But I think I'm still gonna call anyway. What happened is, like, I don't really understand, because like even when I was like 60 pounds heavier and my stomach was out way more than it is now, and my skin was stretched, this never happened. But my belly button is like ripping on the side. I'll insert a picture now. So that's what's going on, and I don't really understand, because I've been using, you know, body butter, coconut oil, argan oil, like, It's not lack of moisturizing my stomach, and I feel like that's what everyone jumps to. It's not a lack of that. I'll tell you that now. I really am thinking it's because like my skin got stretched so big when I was a lot bigger, and then, you know, it got smaller, and I just feel like my skin is already stretched and kind of like, I don't know, thinner, not thinner, but I don't know, but I'm gonna ask my doctor about it. And I know your skin's more sensitive to stuff when you're pregnant, but that's something that's been happening, and it's extremely painful. Everyone's like, it looks so painful. I'm like, it is really painful, especially when your pants rub you right there. But I've also been putting Neosporin on it, and I think that's helping to get it like healed, but I've been putting it on there too to keep it from kind of becoming infected. I know coconut oil is antimicrobial, but still, like right on the tear, I've been using that. So that's pretty much that. Once I talk to my doctor about it and stuff, I'll let you guys know what her thoughts are for the cause of it. But I did Google, and it's actually a thing. And some people just say, you know, your skin just does that. You can't really do anything for it. And like I said, it's not for a lack of moisturizing. So I don't know. That's been happening, and that's been kind of painful. It just kind of made me like, what the hell? Because I don't know. It's just been like stretched bigger before, so it's not even being stretched that much. I didn't really understand why that was happening. So the last thing I want to talk about is I always knew pregnant bellies were hard, you know, I like knew that, but I guess I never realized why people have issues bending over, because like as a larger person, like my that's not a word, my fat kind of just squishes together when I bend over. And I guess logically I knew stomachs were hard, but now that mine is like really hard and the baby's bigger, and you know, like I can't bend as far as I used to. Like I still bend over, I'm not like that pregnant, but it's just like trying to get stuff that I would have no problem like lower or bending all the way and like behind. I don't know how, like I tried to get something out of the car the other day in a weird manner, and I was like, what the hell? You just can't, like your stomach's just so hard, it doesn't move that way. And it's just like so crazy. So I don't know, I guess that's why, like, because one of my friends have told me when you get like super pregnant, you start having problems wiping your bottom. And I was like, how does that happen? Like I'm like bigger and I have no problems wiping my ass. But now I'm like, okay, maybe it has something to do with how hard your stomach is. Like, because they never really described to me what the issue is. But I'm going to be that person that describes it to y'all, because I feel like you should just know these things. Nobody talks about them, so I'm going to. But yeah, my stomach's a lot harder, and it's really, really weird. I don't know how to explain it. But I was just kind of like, oh, I guess that's why people that are really pregnant have problems bending over. I could bend over and grab things off the floor. It's not the problem, but it's like if I twist or move a certain way, it's just like, well, I know I used to be able to bend farther than that. So that's kind of weird. But anyways, that's my bump day, you guys. And I will be back. Like I said, I'm just doing these every 3 weeks. Honestly, if I sat down and did a weekly one, there wouldn't be much to say. I just write these things down as they happen, and I feel like it works out better for me to do every 3 weeks. I hope you guys can understand. Okay guys, this is my baby bump. It is not actually looking as big as it has been looking. I guess it's because I haven't eaten yet, but that is my hard bump. It's so crazy. And I'll see you later. Bye.